Hi, it's Warren from Toyota Tech Training. I'd like to talk to you again today about voltage drop. This video is going to be a brief tutorial on how you might use it in diagnosis. Now remember, with voltage drop, that's where we're going to measure current that's being used or voltage that's being used by something, whether it's a wire or it's a load. And remember, only the load in the system should actually be using voltage. So I have a 14 Corolla in the shop today. Complaint is stalling and stumbling. I have a PO 171, and I've exhausted my normal things where I've looked for vacuum leaks and air leaks and such. Now I want to take a look at the fuel system. A fuel pressure test shows I've only got about 30 PSI, and that's low. So looking at the electrical diagram, you can see where on the diagram for this car I have highlighted in pink every place I expect to have power, and in green every place I expect to have ground. What I've simply done here as a starting point for voltage drop is I'm going across the fuel pump. So I'm going across the blue and the green wires at the pump with the meter. So in doing that, I simply went ahead and pulled the seat up and back probed, took a look at the meter, and my DVOM showing 4.7 volts DC. That's certainly not enough to run this pump. So now that we've established that we have low voltage across there at the pump itself, my next step now is to make a decision as to which way I want to go electrically. I can either shoot the ground side or I can trace up the power side. I'm still going to continue to use voltage drop. So looking at the diagram, I've decided that the easiest path, or the path of least resistance, is simply to go from the module in the trunk, and that's where I have battery voltage here, up to connector AL2. That connector is underneath the driver's kick panel up by his left foot. So I've taken those panels apart, and I'm simply putting my meter leads on both ends of this wire. I don't expect to see any voltage dropped across that wire. A wire should never use voltage. But here I am in AL2. Here I am at the meter. And the meter has been bouncing around. It's been showing me anywhere between 7 and 9 volts being used by that wire. So I have a problem in that wire. Now my job is going to be to go ahead and trace the wire. I might do a resistance check, or I may just do a quick overlay with some known good wire and see what my results are. Okay, so now you know a little bit more about voltage drop. I've given you a good real-world example for how you might use it on a car. So go out there and fix something.